Hello, and welcome to Starfield 2026. We're going to polish off this game. We've got a lot of quests left to do, but what I want to do is I want to finish up the main quest and roll credits so we can get into the new Game Plus mechanic. So, that said, and without digressing for 10 minutes on why, Unearthed, go to Nova Galactic Research Station. So this is the quest that the emissary gave us, Andresia from a different universe. Apparently this will tell us some things, so I'm expecting to learn a lot more about this world we find ourselves in. Main quest, Unearthed, go to Nova Galactic. And I always come back out and go back in to make sure we are selected properly so it's easy to get back to it. Investigate the research station. Okay. And yeah, I'm still wearing the reagent suit. I like the way it looks. I've played gameplays where I wear just the NASA suit. There's actually a suit in the basement of the lodge, which is a NASA-based suit. The Constellation suit looks good. The NASA-based suit looks good. This is a new one for me, so I'm going to wear this one for a bit. It's reagent specific, and it claims to be stealthy. I have no way of checking that claim. So we're supposed to investigate this place, so I'm going to turn on my scanner. And I'm not going to pick up everything. We don't need to be grabbing junk. I suppose I really ought to grab all the junk because we are... I'll come back and grab the junk between recordings. Okay. That'll allow me to make some progress on my commerce quest. Restricted equipment key. I'm not going to pick up the key. I'm going to see if I can pick the lock. Voltaire. Been there, done that. New supercomputer comes online that's accessible, and you just want to try things on it. Play the recording on the roof. We're happy to announce that the first test launch of Project Prism will be held today. Cool. I'm betting that there are other things to find here. Moonbase, Slate 2.
Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. I admit, this is not the most disciplined team I've ever run. Malcolm keeps stealing computational time on Voltaire and thinks I don't know this. And Sabina's been distracted lately, but won't tell anyone why. I really should demand answers from both of them. But honestly, I'm too preoccupied with this contract. We all are. Despite anything going on in our personal lives, there's something special about what we're building here.
Okay, basically I'm trying to see if there's... First of all, I'm looking for information, so tablets, those recordings. There's actually a junk item called a tablet that is just, a blank tablet of paper, which is useless. Moonbase Slate 5.
You ever get jealous? You know, the crew in the shipyard? Building the actual vessels that are gonna travel the stars?
We're literally on a base on the moon.
Oh, come on, Sabina. I'm trying to share my dreams here.
Well, your dreams are always out there and never here where the rest of us live. Can't you just be happy doing your job?
Where's the fun in that?
See, there's the notepad that's blank. Okay, it's not called tablet. Like I said, I'll come back here and pick up all of the junk so that we can make more progress on our commerce. Alien bug paperweight. I saw one of those. Cool. The plushies are not new. Just to let you know. Slate 4.
Okay, confession time. Being single on a moon base is the worst. I only get like an hour to use the communication link to Earth every couple of days. And let me tell you, there's long distance dating, and then there's like long distance dating, you know? Oh, hey there. I'm a scientist, deadly employed, willing to take you out for coffee in like 6 months when I'm back from space. It's not a great opening line.
You seriously can't get a date? You're an astronaut.
Hey, no one asked you.
Science crate. Okay. Outermost ring. That's also available. That's also available. Got a bunch of these that'll work on the outermost ring. This is going to be interesting. You know what? I've got some auto slots. I'm going to go ahead and use an auto slot to get started here. And there we go. And the second ring, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. That should work. In a ring 3, 7. Okay. Maybe. And that would leave us with boom, boom, boom. Don't see it. There we go. Okay, got our X-Tech, got some junk. Well, not junk, got some stuff. Lieutenant Kibwe Kande. There are years where nothing happens and years that can define a life. Plus 10% additional damage to Crimson Fleet ships. Hoorah! Some of these, we haven't met Kibwe Kande. Wait, 6.
I accepted the assignment up here, we were told to bring a couple of personal items. Some psychological studies said it helped when you're away from Earth this long. I brought my grandmother's old abacus. I would play with it on her lap, and she'd teach me the Russian for all the numbers. She, just got word that she passed. The next shuttle isn't for 3 months, so I won't be able to go to the funeral. Goodbye, babushka. Thank you for teaching me math. It brought me to the moon.
Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. Voltaire is being reconfigured for this new initiative. The math we're being asked to crunch is ambitious.
There's our last slide.
We might as well be asking it to count every grain of sand in every desert on Earth. Who came up with these original equations? Our partner isn't being very open about it. Every question I have goes through some discretionary channel. I'm surprised we even know we're working on a ship.
We are learning a lot more. So they have a hidden partner.
Voltaire really is something else. A supercomputer so powerful they put it on the damn moon to keep it cool. Although by that logic they should be running it purely in the vacuum of space. But hey, good marketing material.
No.
I've been spending some off hours running some dumb simulations just because I can. My favorite so far is simulating the sound of every duck on Earth quacking after receiving a piece of bread. You didn't know you wanted a real-time sim of feeding all the ducks, but now you have it. You're welcome, humanity.
I don't know about moon surface, but running something in a vacuum to keep it cool, one of the ways that you insulate cryoflasks is you surround them with vacuum, because vacuum is a really good thermal insulator. In fact, the biggest problem you have in space with spacecraft is getting rid of your frippin' heat. Well, not the biggest problem, but it's a big problem. I was involved with the Laddie mission a decade or more ago, where we basically set something the size of a washing machine out to go orbit the moon and do some experiments. We had 4 good experiments there. But one of our challenges was getting rid of the heat. Okay? And we had to do something called a barbecue roll. Well, it was our most efficient way of controlling the heat was doing a barbecue roll, where you slowly roll the ship, because the side that the sun is beating on heats up very quickly. And the only way you can get rid of the heat is radiate. You don't have conduction or convection. All you've got is radiation, which is the least efficient way to get rid of heat. So all we could do was radiate the heat away into space from the side of the ship facing away from the sun. And it was kind of a challenge. We did keep cool, but you know, you have to monitor that shit. And if you are in the business of generating heat, that's even more so. I mean, our computing requirements were very, very low. RPC 604, I think it was. I could be missing up. No, 604 was the CPU we used in the Spark stuff. It was a PowerPC that was space rated. Very low power. All of our components were low power. We didn't have a lot of power to work with. You don't want to have a big power plant on a washing machine sized spacecraft. Even so, if you are generating and using electricity, the electricity you use turns into heat energy. Energy is conserved. It just moves from one form to another, chemical to electrical to thermal, and you have to radiate it away. So if you are building a compute cluster, and they're talking about doing this now, and you're going to put it in space, it isn't the fact that you are in vacuum that makes it a good idea to do that for cooling. The fact that you are in vacuum makes it a challenge for cooling. What putting it in space does is you have a lot of volume to work with. You can spread out. So the fact that you may have a large size of radiator, if you're in orbit, it doesn't really matter. If you're on the ground, land is expensive. If you're in space, area is cheap. In fact, it's not area, it's volume. But you want surface area, you can get surface area. So, yeah, maybe you could put up something with big radiators in space, but you're not putting it into space because the vacuum makes it easier to cool. Bear that in mind. That's a simplification that the popular press makes, and it's a press that is not educated, and they are writing the thing that their viewers, who are also not specialty educated, are going to kind of get a feel for. Now, in the long run, yeah, maybe putting your data center in space, maybe you can keep it cooler. I'm not convinced that's your biggest draw. Anyway, that's my take on it. Sorry, I got to get my hot take in on that one. Okay, recording.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
What is that?
Science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We've heard that sound before.
Are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
So I'm staring at something up there. So from the surface of the moon, we should be seeing the Earth. Doesn't look like the Earth. So if you're standing on the surface of the moon and you look up at the Earth should look about 4 times as wide as the moon looks from the surface of the Earth. And I know that sizes are deceiving, but I think, well, first of all, it's the wrong color. Why is it all gray? Why aren't we seeing our nice blue-green ball? I think it's too small. I think it's the wrong color. The other thing is we know, based on lunar eclipses, that the size of the moon the size of the Earth as seen from the moon should be about the same as the size of the sun as seen from the moon, because the Earth's shadow lines up, right? Does that make sense? Or is this an umbra penumbra thing? Oh boy. So the moon fills up. Okay, so we know that the sun and the moon look about the same size from the surface of the Earth because solar eclipses. That we can see directly. I assumed lunar eclipses were the same, but on the other hand, the Earth looks 4 times as big, so the Earth should be bigger than the sun in the sky. The sun should be about half a degree across. I'm remembering the numbers. Sun's about half a degree across from the Earth and the moon. Moon's about half a degree across. Earth is about 2 degrees across. Okay, so yeah, that is, I think the Earth is too small and the sun is too big in this graphic. I think we're not drawing these to scale. And that's okay, it's a computer game. I know that one thing you do in computer games is when things are far away in space and you draw them, you scale up their size so that it looks like something. Otherwise, all of space combat would just be little white dots. Okay, so they probably scaled up the sun. Don't know why the moon would be that. They would want the Earth to be big. There's nothing else up there unless the Earth is below the horizon, in which case, what's the heck is that? Grids. Now, there's a landing pad up here. Wow, the gravity on the moon is so low that I can just use my jetpack back to back, and it takes so long for us to bleed off the vertical speed. Why am I doing this? I can. Anyway. They took so much care with so much of this that it's a little bit jarring when I see what is clearly a gameplay mechanic thing, where I'm not looking at the sky as a planetarium right now. So yeah, it's jarring. Things are so accurate in a lot of ways that when you see something like that, it's like, what? Set course to Earth. And Earth is, in fact, a big gray ball. So you don't do that on accident, and you don't do that on a bug. There's got to be a reason for that. Now, I know why. Anybody that's been discussing Starfield for the last few years knows why, but yeah, it's... oh, we have a quest to go visit the London landmark, don't we? But here is, I believe this mission is where we find out what happened to Earth. And why it's a big gray dust ball.
Let's see what's on this ball.
And why Sol is basically a discarded solar system. Why we've left there, gone elsewhere. Let's drive. Yeah. I was making good time till I hit that rock. Am I carrying emergency power cells? I probably don't need to worry about it, but I've been accumulating them. I think I left all my power cells in the box. Oh well. There's some right here. But we need it. To get through this door, power required. And you can't take the power thing out. So if you run out of power cells, you run out of power cells. I don't know whether that's just for this door or if it powers up other things, but I always open this door. Also, I'd swear that they increased the number of power cells available. It can't be that I'm better at finding them. And we need to get up there. Okay. See, I don't remember. In my early playthroughs, it seems like I was always having to go back and find a power cell. I remember one playthrough, I actually had to leave the planet and go elsewhere looking for it. Whoops. That's a nope. Up. We need to go up. Let's see a stairway. There it is. We just kind of missed the base of the stairway. Whee! Keep going up. Okay, also, this place has a bunch of junk you can loot, so I am going to see if I can come back here to loot all the junk in case I need to. How am I doing for commerce? I may not need to do that. We are currently at rank 3 out of 4, and we only need to do 31 different items. I've got a point I could spend. I could bump ballistics. Or I could start working on my particle beam weapon. Let's do ballistics. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, piloting up to Class C. I can build a Class C ship. Let's do that. Now I can build Class B. One more point in piloting, and I'll be able to build and fly Class C ships, which are, well, Class C is a bigger reactor, so you can put more stuff on it. Stuff like turrets. I think we're about on the right level. Power required. Okay, power cables snake over here. Now, I know that we didn't have 2 power packs right here in front of where they need to be plugged in. They have changed. Yeah, at some point they must have patched that in because people were saying, I can't find any power cells. So far we've had to use 2 of them, and each place we used 2, each place we used 1, we had 2 right there. I wonder if that's set based on difficulty settings, because I've got the difficulty settings tweaked around. Reminding us to use F to turn the flashlight on and off. Oh yeah, we could come through here and loot a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Launch procedures. Assume it's go time every time. Yep.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars?
Okay, so the story starts to get together. Dr. Victor Isa is a theoretical physicist with a sample from Mars under wraps. He also appears in the recording from the test flight as he's the guy that had the information.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handrails, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in material science, metallurgical engineering. Oh, we have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab.
It's a computer game, so we absolutely know where this is going, but oh, this story is coming together now.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatienne. I have
never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Okay, so one thread of the story is coming together. We think these guys got their hands on a artifact on Mars. So Victor Isaac gets an artifact, and he brings it here, and they're experimenting with it. Ooh. Okay, little buddy. Yeah, we'll come through here later on to pick up the junk. I just keep reminding myself of that so I don't stop and start looting all the junk. I think we need to actually look at these to see what they tell us, because it's all important story. F1 engine. Power of the F1 was critical in providing the necessary lift to launch rockets from the surface of Earth toward the stars. (2150) Science first predicted the destruction of our beloved Earth. Atmospheric phenomena would cause breathable air to sputter outside of Earth's gravity, dooming all life that remained. We lost our atmosphere somehow. Estimated 50 years of 2150 to 2200 until the end has given NASA and other space agencies around the world the opportunity to migrate humanity away from certain death into the stars. So basically 50 years of sending people to the stars. Thanks to the development of the grav drive, humanity will live on. Only grab the good stuff. Come on. Mars Exploration Rover. Launched in 2003. Spirit and Opportunity. Friendly little guys. Beep beep. Closed for remodeling. So early 60s, mid 60s, Gemini. So that was surviving in space and docking and operating outside the spacecraft. Mercury backpack, Mercury helmet, and Mercury spacesuit. I am taking those. Souvenirs. Extra pack and helmet. Be nice if there was an extra suit hanging around somewhere. That way I could wear one and my companion could wear one. And Apollo! Yay, Apollo! I was a kid. First moon landing was Apollo 11, July 1969. I was 7 years old. I was glued to the television. Some people say it was faked. Well, when I was a contractor at NASA, we decided that our story, when people said that, was, of course we faked it. We used our soundstage on Mars. Project Prism, this is what we looked at from Nova Galactic. NASA partnered with Nova Galactic to pull gravity itself. Yep, we heard the recording of that flight. Living outside Earth. Okay. Long-term missions, late 1990s. Yep. Skylab, for instance. ISS has been going for a while. I don't think we're really ready to put a colony on the moon or on Mars. We've got a lot of learning left to do. And we can't go through, but could pick up a nasty coffee mug and a digipick in here.
I just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
Ooh. So Victor is being fed information. I'm still looking around in case there's anything interesting or important. We're headed down there. Maybe we can get through from there. What am I saying? Of course we can get through from here. You know what? Cora might like that book. Tales of Space and Time, The Crystal Egg. H.G. Wells, 1899, classic stuff. Locked door. Okay, so the outside ring has 5 pips on it. So this one and this one both fit. There's a 3 that fits. If I can use a 3 and a 2. Okay, so gotta use this one and this one. Middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You were already pre-fitted. And looks like you... Perfect. Sometimes you get lucky. There's only so many positions these can be in, so sometimes they will be randomly put in correctly. And there's... that one fits. And if I rotate this... There we go. Go ahead and... I might as well go ahead and grab this crap. Nothing interesting in here. Power required. And conduits come to here. Power switch. There we go. That lit up. So it's still that way. We have a locked door. Novice lock, so inside, both, and outside. So there and there gets me the outside ring. Advanced lock. Outside ring has 5 of them, so a 3 and a 2 or a 4 and a 1. That go there. And that might line up like that. Let's try those. So as long as you don't actually back all the way out and re-enter, it doesn't cost you extra digipicks. I'm doing really good at NASA maintenance. Yeah, just in case it's a door we can't pick. Oh, emergency power cell that I almost missed. We go down here. Another emergency power cell. And another emergency power cell. I think these are more common than they were when the game first released. I really do. Okay. Can't open the door because it's got no power, but this thing over here is lit up and it says, I need a power cell. So just in this area, there were 3 cells. 1 is upstairs and 2 down. Well, I guess 2 downstairs, 1 a ways away. But yeah, plenty of power cells. And now I have 5 of them on me. That's 5 power cells that I've picked up here at NASA. in, beyond the ones that I've needed. So I guess finding an emergency power cell is no longer, a puzzle part of the game. It's just you get one and they're all around. Anything good? Okay. Whoops. Okay. Robots and such. Actually, let's see, can I? Turrets are still shooting at me through the wall. Now, if I let them lose track of me, I should be able to creep in and biff them. There we go. We need to find out where they are. There's one. There's one behind there. One over there. Okay. Got him. Boom. Hey, that looks like Vasco. Apparently Vasco's an old model. Let's get a picture. So no direct path. Did you pick? A locked door. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 on the outside. Let's auto slot one. Might as well use auto slots when we can. It certainly simplifies things. And we've picked enough locks that I can put one more point in security. I am going to go ahead and put my... Oops, I didn't. I spent my banked point earlier. Oh, okay. But we are now ready to put one more point into security. 5 auto attempts. So we'll be able to bank 5 auto attempts. We need to really start using those. That looks like a place to put, well, power switch. Didn't need an emergency cell, just need to turn it on. What do you think, G? And we go down. Let's get you reloaded. Anything interesting in here? We're going to have to come back and loot this up. If we can't get our 30-ish unique items, I think there's enough different things in here that we've likely not sold since our last level up in commerce. That's what it is. It's different items since the last time you put a point in commerce. Yeah.
Project Log, Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us. It's all going to be possible.
So I don't remember the date on the recording on the Nova Lab that we heard the prototype go up, but I do remember that it was 2150 where they said we have 50 years of life in the, so that's a dozen years after this. So we've got turning on the prototype here, and 12 years later we're sputtering our atmosphere into space. This is sounding more and more like cause and effect, huh? 2141, so 3 years later.
I watched the gravjet test from the moon today.
There we go.
It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
Okay, so if the grav drive test is in at the end of 2141, it means 8 years until they notice that our atmosphere is sputtering away. I think Dr. Victor Isa has some splaining to do. Okay. Unlock expert. So let's see. This is an expert lock. We need 4 on the outside. We only got 2 auto slots banked. We could do a 3 and a 1. Oops. We need both the ones there. Reverse. And I use one of my autos to put him in place. So we can't use a 1 on the outer ring. Maybe you? No. So you are definitely in the middle there somewhere. Okay, so you are the center ring here. I can't use you on the outside because we can't afford the one. Oh, we do have 3 ones. Okay. And we know that we auto-slotted one there. There we go. Yeah, I had a 3rd single pip, so yay. You could go there, and you go there. There we go. And another advanced lock. So you're going to be in the middle somewhere. We don't have any singles, so this is a no-go. That would work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You would fit there, and you leave us with this guy. There we go. Modified, refined, old Earth hunting rifle. So we'll have to compare that with our current sniper rifle. I could swear that I had a cutter. You know what? I think I sold that cutter again. Keep forgetting that's 2 shots. Yeah, I think 1 shot's all we needed there. Oh well, got plenty of ammo. Well, before we go in there, let's explore the rest of this area out here. We're in 0G. Oh, that means they're still pumping energy into their little device. I hear something. That sounds like the experiment that was happening at Entangled. Oh. Okay. I'm just basically going to get this whole area opened up out here. Hey, little buddy, how are you managing maneuver if you've got wheels and we're in 0 gravity? I don't understand. Elemental Old Earth refined hunting rifle. Okay, I need to find out if that's my new hunting rifle. So here's the legendary that I just picked up. It is still half the DPS of my rare one. Okay, well, apparently this is just a really, really lucky find. I wish I'd written down where I found that thing. That feels like it was a hidden Easter egg where you have a place where you can find a weapon that is significantly better than you should be getting your hands on. That's a door that we burn through on another level. I want to get this whole place open before I go in the big room. I do not like when lights flash. I'm not sensitive to flashing lights. That doesn't help. Okay, so we have this area here. But this goes up. This is all the way back up to our original entry point where we've got gravity again suddenly. Now, I saw a different entry point that wasn't through the emergency doors. I'll try that first. Whoops. Victor Isa. I'm going to take his root beer. And another massive maintenance key. Okay, let's see here. Prototype drive. Please be careful whenever running power through the prototype. Core of the drive contains a specimen that is irreplaceable and all data is under the strictest clearance. Okay. Sounds like that's our artifact. So we have logs from 2149 and 2160. So 2160 is 10 years after the scientists decided we had 50 years to live.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
This is about when they started thinking that maybe we were sputtering.
These days is launching weather satellites. Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
So this is 8 years after he has successfully sent a faster-than-light ship to Jupiter. And it's 2149. So in 2150, they are saying we've got 50 years to live. And he's looking at meteorological patterns. So this could be what's going on there with the atmosphere. August.
Okay, thanks.
Not voiced. Magnetosphere falters. It falls to protect us. Fails to protect us. Yada yada. Some think this is normal, but this is greater. Next day.
What I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me.
I
All this time. I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could have hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
Ooh, boy. So, apparently, yeah, the grav drives caused the Earth to lose its atmosphere, and Victor knew. "11 years later."
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Okay, so it's his discovery of the artifact that kicks off this whole unique world that we're playing the game in. It allows the construction of grav drives, and it also causes the destruction of Earth's atmosphere, forcing us to send a very small number of people out to colonize these other planets. There's no way we were launching people faster than they were being born. I think we can fairly classify Victor Isa as being evil. Okay, we released the artifact. Gravity is back. And now we just need to get into the middle there somewhere. Oh, we have a door here. We have a 3 that fits over there. How about that? Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm going to do an auto slot on this to simplify it. Roll this around a bit, and there, leaving us with that set. I think we need both of our ones for the internal one, so this is a no-go. And I believe this only fits in that one orientation. That could fit there. I think we have backed ourselves into a corner. I'm going to auto slot this. There we go. We get up there. And there's our artifact. Let's grab it and take it out. Take it home.
Constellation, we've arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found.
And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
Okay. There's one down there. Gotcha. Okay, we need to get back up. We're hidden. That didn't help much. He's still... So how do you get back up from here? Typically, I've never fallen down. I always came out on the top and just kept going up. I betcha. That's why we've got this thing. Yeah, that gets us back out. Okay. Always wondered what this back area was for. But like I said, I always ended up on the top level. There's one. Hey, buddy. Next one's way up there. What killed him? Didn't shoot. He must have been a duplicate. And just ran out of time. Okay. Continue onward. Power required. I bet you there's another power cell here somewhere. Yep. Just laying on the floor on the way through here. I'm betting that these were always here. I've just gotten really good at noticing the power cells. Yeah, we'll have to come back and do the complete loot sweep if we come up short on our commerce, but loot sweep possibilities, we've got station on the moon and the NASA area here on Earth, both with a lot of miscellaneous stuff. So the Razorback's actually my best DPS, but it's only 40 range. Followed by the new Shoddy. Followed by the hunting rifle, but the hunting rifle's got the range, so you can use this for the long stuff, like shift weapons, shift to the Razorback if I've got close combat. I'm going to go around. Pretty sure I don't need to lockpick anything anymore. Not for gaining security. I can lockpick if I want, but I don't need to for leveling up. Gotcha. There's one up there. Okay. I saw a loot crate up here. Mechanized explorer suit. Okay. Why does a mouse say he's facing the wrong way? Oh, well. He walked right past me. Still going up and out. Leave NASA. Talk to the emissary. Oh, okay. I could use my jetpack to break this fall. There we go. Still landed kind of hard. So the emissary is the one that told me about this.
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel at the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Why have a billion people when you can have hundreds of worlds of thousands of people? We lost our home.
Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That's why we watch over them. The only thing you are watching out for is yourself.
I'm going to team up with the emissary this time.
Join me, old friend. We can collect the final pieces together.
Oh, no you don't. You're not her old friend, remember? You're from another universe. Don't try to manipulate her. Okay. I couldn't win you over on philosophy. How about pragmatism? I'm more powerful than the emissary. Than any other Starborn. And you might not understand why, but I want you to succeed. You've never gotten this far before. I need to see what happens to you.
Yeah, I'm siding with the emissary.
Thank you.
Well, can't say I didn't try. We'll settle this at the usual place.
The buried temple will be there.
You're lucky I'm a man of my word. I'll see you there.
He's a man of his word because it's his easy path.
You must have questions about what happens next.
Okay, that's the end of the quest. Let's finish out the dialogue and I will save it up before we go on to Revelation. Or did we have other... I think we have other artifacts to pick up before Revelation, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. What's the buried temple?
There's always a final artifact in a specific temple. The hunter and I agreed that whoever you sided with, the other would wait there. Expect anything and everything. Other starborn, human mercenaries and defenses, alien creatures under mind control. It's all fair game. He and I have made a number of agreements over the years. If you can even call them years at this point. We let him go. In exchange, he will wait at the buried temple. You will be able to prepare any way you can before then. There is a temple for every artifact. You should find as many as you can. You'll need their power. I will meet you in orbit above the buried temple. We will face what is there together.
So she's telling me I need to go get powers. Oh, there's a skill point. Let us put that skill point right into security. So we can spend a digipick to eliminate keys that can't be used, which might simplify our solution process a little bit. And we can bank 5 auto attempts instead of 4. Cool. And we have now mastered security. So Unearthed is done. There's the quest line. So the next quest in the main line is here. Go to Masada 3. But she told me I should visit as many temples as possible before then. Did I... Yeah, I think I got... Oh, that's right. Entangled is always the last one that you get. Right. Yeah. So you need to finish Entangled before you go to Masada 3. I think we're ready to do that. So we will pick it up with Masada 3 in the next episode. I will see you then. Oh, let's get a picture of the two of us. Photo mode. Me and my new best buddy. Okay, so I can't... I was thinking maybe I was teamed up with her enough that we could get her to change, but no. There we go. Anyway, I will see you in the next episode.